A lot of people were talking about this. Even Uncle Dave had to make mention of it and how really just horribly awkward it looked. And I don't know who was confused at what, but the one thing Uncle Dave hasn't done is presided over a wrestling school. I have. I can't believe that this happened with people that had been in any type of wrestling training situation more than 3 or 4 months. I'm still grasping for a solution. There was a match between Megan Bayne and Chris Statlander, and now poor Statlander, she was the big girl that had all the promise and potential once she moved from Alpha Centauri back to the planet Earth. But
Alpha
now they found,
Centauri.
well, it's a long way off. But they found this wildebeest, Megan Bayne, that's 3 inches taller than Statlander. It has a tan and bigger boobs. And so now, I guess Megan is the new toy, and Statlander had to put her over. But nevertheless, Megan Bayne won, and Penelope Pitstop is apparently affiliated with Megan Bayne, and she helped out in this victory because they're the heels. And then they start beating up Statlander, getting heat after the match. And Thunder Rosa comes running out to make the save with a chair and slides in the ring and draws back. And not only did the heels not run, but Penelope Pitstop did not hide behind the big girl Megan Bayne, because now they're trying to recreate the Mercedes Moon and Camille dynamic with Megan Bayne and Penelope. We'll see if they can get it right this time. Off to a rocky start. Penelope stands in front of the big bodyguard girl and says, "Come on, do something about it," to Thunder Rosa, who's standing there with a chair. So Thunder Rosa is trying to advance on them without doing it because they're not backing up. And there's the awkwardness of that. And then Rosa draws back the chair and starts to swing at Megan Bayne, who doesn't move a muscle. And Thunder Rosa has to pull up and not do it. Now she's deader than 4 o'clock, flatter than a plate full of piss. And the heels are just laughing at her. And the referee has to get in between them and is telling the heels, you go that way. And he's trying to help hold Rosa back so she doesn't get any more buried than she already was. It would be hard to. You'd come out the other side of the earth. And I couldn't figure out what the fuck. At one point, Penelope grabbed the chair and they had a tug of war. She was trying to take it away and Rosa wouldn't let go of it. And then finally, when the heels got out of the ring and were walking down the entranceway, not that far away, Thunder Rosa threw the chair at them. And I wrote, was there a fight in the locker room about this afterwards that hadn't been publicized? Or are the two heels just this fucking stupid? Or was this a personal issue where they decided to, basically start a fucking fight? I can't believe there wasn't one, a real one, on national television. There is no explanation. If they knew, I'm trying to figure that.
There's nothing, because even if she was going to do a run-in without the chair, they would have left the ring or something. It was almost like they either didn't expect her to do a run-in and therefore didn't react to it, or they decided they weren't going to react to whatever Thunder Rosa did.
Well, but not even, because, okay, let's say that in the finish, they were supposed to just get heat, and suddenly Tony from Gorilla said, "Thunder Rosa, run in." Here comes a babyface with a chair, and she's fucking drawing it back. You've got to back up, even if the bodyguard, shouldn't back up. Then me and Big Bubba, Dusty comes in with a chair. I would grab Bubba and I would pull him out because I'm in control of him. Penelope could pull her big bodyguard out to live or fight another day. But that's if are they just making finishes up now? You said that they knew she was going to run in, but maybe didn't know she'd have a chair. If somebody suggested that she run in alone against the two heels, one the big newcomer, the first thing, if I was the babyface, I would have said was, I need to bring something, like a chair. So if they knew the run-in was coming and they knew she was going to have a chair, did they not walk through the rest of it? Like, we need to get that's the first thing I learned when I got in the wrestling business. If you are the heel and the babyface is hitting the ring to make a save, if you don't get out of the way, it's your fucking fault what happens. And in those days, the baby faces were trying to catch you because they wanted to fucking not look like idiots and it looked like they were doing something and get a fucking pop. So you had to really fucking exit quickly. And there's no, and again, if they knew she was coming, they knew she was coming with a chair and they were supposed to bail and she didn't, then she should have hit him, because that's the second thing I learned. If you're coming into the goddamn ring and the fucking heels don't move, hit the motherfuckers. Because then you end up like Thunder Rosa. You look like a complete fucking befucking foon.
Where was Statlander?
She was selling. She was safe. She was out of it. She couldn't get any on her. She's probably looking up going, what the fuck? But there is no explanation. And that Rosa didn't just go ahead and hit these two with the chair is stunning. Yeah, that's what would have happened in any other era.
She ran out there with so much enthusiasm, like with the chair.
Yeah.
Ah! And then she had a standoff where she had a chair and they had their faces.
Yes.
She didn't move.
And they're just laughing at her. And then, and I'm not saying that somebody would have hauled off with a killer blow the first time, although many people would have, but at the very least, you would have got one working shot that you had the opportunity to sell before the second one came, and you were going to sell that regardless, unless you were ready to fight and take the chair away from the motherfucker. But none of that happened because they're so goddamn lost out there anyway these days. They don't know what to fucking do. And if, I'm sorry, but if Thunder Rosa didn't go back and punch Penelope in the fucking face, even Megan, I might could understand. She's the big girl. Penelope, if she didn't punch her, then I have no respect for Thunder Rosa. Because that's the same thing as pissing on somebody in front of their fucking family.
And you keep saying her bodyguard. Did they establish that? Because this is the first time I saw Megan Bayne with Penelope.
That's what it was looking like. What else would be? You think fucking Penelope's going to fight Megan Bayne's battles? You know, so, but the whole thing, it was odd because they should have known what was going to happen. They did the exact opposite of anything they should have done with what was happening in front of them. And then we didn't hear about a big goddamn fight and cussing match taking place afterwards. So are these girls smart enough to know when they're supposed to be offended? I don't fucking know.
Well, we'll see what we hear. But that was a very interesting, awkward segment.